How in the world Von Erich pinned my show? Why don't they roll the tape or something?
Roll the tape.
Eddie Marlin.
Got the tape. Let's roll it. Last week at the Coliseum.
Lawler go after Snowman now. Finally, they are barred. Snowman once again lunging in on Lawler. Lawler takes him off his feet. Crowd going wild. They're outside the ring, close to the area where Lawler has 3 managers with him tonight. Snowman following in right on him, flailing away. Those big guns going to work on Lawler. Lawler trying to duck out of it. Snowman winding up, trying to work in there somewhere. Lawler's doing a good job of covering up. Now Lawler coming back on Snowman.
Snowman with a big right. Puts Lawler back in the turnbuckle. Wallace in with some big rights in that turnbuckle. As Lawler staggering now. Coming after the Snowman, all over the top of him. Kicking him right in the rib cage. Just drawing back and kicking him with the toe of the boot.
We're trying to cover up to keep severe damage from being done. Snowman lommed him with a right. Double axe handle. Lawler is down on his knees. Snowman kick to the rib section. Follows up with a knee to the jaw. And Lawler in trouble in the corner.
Snowman really working him over now. Lawler needing to get up out of that corner really bad. He's in bad shape as Ronnie Gossett cheering him on. Von Erich coming in trying to break him up after the Snowman really wearing Lawler out. It looks like downtown Bruno just handed Lawler something. And now Bruno up on the ring apron with the special referee, Kerry Von Erich. After downtown Bruno handing Lawler something. Reggie B. Fine leaving the ringside area. Look at that! Lawler with that fire just burned the Snowman out of nowhere. Just burned him right in the face. Lawler with the pin cover. Von Erich not wanting to pin the Snowman. Von Erich not wanting to go down and count. 1, 2. That's it. Von Erich just finally out of the pin cover as a Snowman in here with a ball of fire out of nowhere. Just burned the Snowman.
This is the Pro Wrasllin Reflection Podcast with your host, the Professor Chalbelo Veracruz.
What a run!
Mr. Wonderful Tommy Wonder.
And I will take the powers of those that have no fear!
And the prodigal one, JB.
The queen, yeah. The cream of the crop.
Now it's time to go back in time in the time machine.
The American Dream! Dusty Road! Too sweet!
The living legend, Bruno Sammartino.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. Woo! Look at this. I don't believe it.
And why do we call ourselves niggas for life? Because if we die, we still gonna be some dead niggas.
What is going on there, Reflection Nights? What is going on there to the Haminites, the Vitoites, all the ites out there, the left, the right, the Dems, the Repubs, the Independites, the Hermaphrodites, the Transgenderites, all the ites out there in the world. You know, if you got the rainbow on your shirt, Happy Pride Month. Whatever the case may be, we united. United we stand, divided we fall. But you know what? Don't give me a pronoun because we're not united on that. I am a he. I am a him. But neither here nor there. That's a little diatribe. But again, See, he's rubbing his head for good luck. This means it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be an episodic episode of the PWR podcast here at the Hameen Media Group at podbean.com. But before we even talk about the episodic episode, I must introduce myself because I am vain like that. I must introduce myself because I need to lose some years. I need to get 5, 6, 7, 8 years younger. I need to get the grays off my face, the grays off my hair, the grays off my pubes, but neither here nor there. I am the most charismatic one. I am the most scholarly one. I am the most stupendous one. But most importantly, I am the most glorious one. The only objective man in this IWC, YWC, PWC punditry. The only objective man in this political spectrum. The only objective man in the social media realm. You're a friend of mine, the Professor Chabert Cruz, and I'm not here alone. No. I am here with the man JB. No, he's not here. He's never here. God damn, he hasn't been here for a year. I don't know where the hell he is. But neither here nor there. But I'm here with my brother from another mother. I am here with the sexiest doctor, the sexiest man with the sexiest scar, the sexiest Dr. Frankenstein. He is Mr. Wonderful. He is WWE in its own. He is the Iron Stomach one. Woo! Tommy Wonder, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I think I wore the same shirt last time we did this show. But I wear a different coat.
No, you gotta lie. You gotta say you got 2 of them. You got 2 or 3 of these same shirts.
I got lots of Cody stuff. But you know what else I have?
What do you have? Is it that time? It is that time. It is
Presents
that time.
for Ray.
Reflection Nights. You
Presents
know what?
for Big Ray.
It is Big Ray's favorite segment. It's Pastor Travis Volk's favorite segment. It is Josh Floberg's favorite segment. It's when TW himself opens the pro wrestling crates and gets pissed off that there is no Adam Cole shirt.
It's either my favorite segment or it's my worst segment, depending on what's in this box. I'm not going to read the card. You guys read the card.
It's their favorite segment.
It's already off to a good start.
Oh, here we go. It's a hit or miss.
What a rush.
Legion of Doom Road Warriors t-shirt. Not a bad shirt. Not a bad way to start.
It does say Legion of Doom. That is badass. That's AWA Road Warriors, man. That's sweet. I'll be wearing that shirt.
But there's a misnomer. If it's an AWA picture, but why they have the WWE tag team name? It should be the Legion of Doom Road Warriors.
Right. Look at this. I was excited, but I realized it wasn't him. Oh, this is going to be a good box.
Another shirt. This is a great.
That's actually pretty nice, man. It's got
Claudio Castagnoli, a.k.a. Cesaro.
Swiss made 1980. Wow, he's only 7 years younger than me. That's a good shirt. It's in his bland ass color too, like his personality. This is the best part of the box.
Oh,
that fucking sticker was him because I don't. Tag team edition. That means one socks one guy, one socks the other.
Super.
What are they called? El Pentago or
Oh, Pentagon. Oh, the Lucha Bros.
Lucha Brothers. Oh man.
What, you got Phoenix and Pentagon?
I like these guys, and then I got a scissor pin. I was hoping I would like them to be the sock. I thought this was Adam Cole.
Who is that? Oh, Seth?
Matt Sydal.
Oh, Matt Sydal. Damn, that looked like Seth Rollins. So that's actually a.
It's never going to be Seth Rollins because it's got to be guys that aren't in the WWE.
No, that's what I thought. I thought Seth Rollins could sue them. I'm like, he needs to get paid.
Nice. They had to get this one in before it was gone.
William Regal. Nice.
Yeah, that's good. These are all autographed and certificate of authentication or whatever. Authentication. That's a good box, man. I won't probably ever wear the socks. One day I'm going to get a thing to put the pins on.
So the only
comic book in there.
So the only nitpicking, you wish it would have been the Acclaim socks, so you have sesame socks on your feet.
Right. Yeah, but they'd be pink and black.
Right.
Hey, It even says what a rush. All right. Let's see. Yeah, there was the chance of the chase Lucha Bros. That's the socks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 100 chase variants included. How would you know it's chase? Mine might be a Chase, man. There was a sticker on that motherfucker. I didn't pay attention. I didn't know those came.
Well, you was happy with the shirts. You was happy with the socks. So, this one felt like felt like a B minus, maybe even an A minus. I don't know.
I like Matt Sydal. What was his name in WWE?
Evan Bourne.
Evan Bourne. I liked Evan Bourne. Airborne. Evan Airborne. I like the Airborne micro brawlers. I showed you my Sting and my Adam Cole I finally got, right? It's awesome that John Moxley was the
sticker.
The sticker, because I don't give a shit about the stickers. And then next month, Jeff Hardy, FTR again, Will Ospreay, Sheeta, that better not be no fucking shirt, Hayabasa, Chavo Guerrero. I hope he's the what if FTR is the brawlers? There's two of them.
Could be, who knows? Oh no, FTR would probably be the socks.
Yeah.
Cash and Wheeler. That'd be, goes right along the legs. Cash on one side, a Wheeler on the other. Or
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man, Cash and Dax.
Cash and Dash. Axe and Smash. Nurse.
So I guess you could say out of a scale of 1 to 10, this was an 8.
Yeah. That was not, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
All right. So we got that out of the way. TW is very happy. Now he's happy. He's eating a salad while we're recording live for the Reflection Nights. But neither here nor there, because you know how TW does these things. As long as it's a quiet food, I ain't gonna matter. But if you chop that shit, I'm gonna really get mad. But
I ain't gonna matter.
Okay. Just remember that, if Reflection Night staff ride or die with me, I've always had issues with TW with the wrappers and the candies and all the chewing stuff. But this is quiet. It's okay with me. I can give him a pass on that. But anyway, let's get into episode 170, TW. We made it to 170. 30 more episodic episodes until we hit the elusive 200, even though technically we're over 200 with all the episodes we've done. But episodically.
Oh, no, we do them a week. Why the fuck did I think we did them a month?
What month?
I thought we did one a month. That's why I was about to say, it's going to be 3 years before we hit 200.
Sometimes we do episodics once a month because we have so many theme shows. We have What Ifs, we have the Greatest Rivalries, we have Spotlights and all that stuff.
I'm saying we do a show every week, and I was thinking we did it once a month, and that's why I say 30 is going to take 3 years.
Yeah, it
to hit 200.
Who knows?
It takes 30 weeks.
Well, hopefully.
Early
but
2024.
I'm very obsessive, and that's my obsessive compulsive disorder here. I'm trying to get to 200 for a reason. So what? Neither here nor there. But of course, we'll still have the themes reflection. Don't worry about that. But since this is episode 170, we are going back to June of 19 naughty TW, and we're going back to the Mid-South territory. We are going back to the USWA, run by Jerry the King Lawler and all that stuff. And you know what? I'll say this, Reflectionites. This episode is very, we're going to focus on just one main thing, because everything in this episode is kind of minute. And the reason I picked this episode, TW, is because we always talk about things, the terms in wrestling, right? Work shoots and all that stuff, blurring the lines of reality, blurring the lines of, is this real or is this scripted and all that stuff. And no segment can unequivocally be denied. This one here in 19 naughty TW, Jerry Lawler, Eddie Marlin, and the Jarretts were trying to blur the lines of reality. We're trying to create, controversy creates cash, as Eric Bischoff says. But I think it came at a price. But we're going to talk about this a little bit deeper, Reflectionites. Again, we're going to focus on this because you know how the professor is all about the unity. But he also has to call out the racism. He also has to call out what has happened in the Southern wrestling territories, like I've always said. In the Southern wrestling territories, the promoters, they didn't like the black wrestlers to a degree. Some did. Some promoted them to the moon, like JYD. Some of them promoted them to stardom. And I don't know about superstardom, but you had your Iceman King Parsons, you had your Brickhouse Browns, you had your Reggie B. Fines. But this episode here, TW, we're gonna focus on the USWA title, feud, if you will, between Jerry the King Lawler and a man, excuse me, a journeyman, an African-American wrestler journeyman who goes by the name of Snowman, the Snowman. His name is Eddie Crawford. He went by a bunch of other names, TW, if I remember. He was called Dr. Detroit. He was called the Killer in one of the other places. But when he went down to USWA in early 1990, TW, he came. I don't know if this was because Jerry Lawler, told him to do this. But at first, when you're in the Memphis studios, we have to call a spade a spade.
It's racist.
Yes, of course we have to. But anyway, almost about 90% of the studio audience in Memphis before the Snowman came was relatively white. 10% maybe African American, or let's just say people of color. You can't deny the Hispanic influence reflection. I can't deny that. So I'm going to give it a 90% to 10% ratio in the Memphis studios, TW. But the Snowman did his job. He created a buzz in the Memphis territory to a degree. But let me ask you this, TW. We don't have to talk about what he said right now. We don't have to talk about anything. Well, let's just try to polarize this as best as we can with knowing what we know about the history of wrestling, knowing what we know about the history of prejudice, stereotypes, and all that stuff. Was this a miscalculation on Jerry the King Lawler's part? Was this a miscalculation on Jerry Jarrett's part to actually try to fuse racial tensions between black fans, white fans, to do this kind of angle in 1990? This is before Rodney King, so we can't say about that. This is way before O.J. Simpson, the trial. So I would understand if they did this after Rodney King or maybe after O.J. Simpson to kind of fuel that stuff, because New Jack, from ECW purposes, he was beautiful at that. He infused that, blurring the lines of reality with his promos. But this is way before that. So what say you, TW? Was this a miscalculation on Lawler's part to try to do the racial tension, to try to create a rift between white and black fans in that studio?
I don't know. They wanted the fans. I think he thought in 1990 everyone would side with the black guy. I don't think he would have thought white people would have sided with him and black people sided with the black guy. The biggest problem here is, by the way, the Snowman. By the way, when I heard Snowman, I thought it was going to be a white dude. I thought it was going to be Tony Khan. But anyways, side note. No offense to him, but I'm stunned to learn that he passed away within a year or two ago at 75 years old. There's no way I'm looking at that dude in 1990 and thinking he's making it to 75. Just, jacked to the gills on the gas. Anyways, I think where the miscalculation was, so me watching it, I'd never seen this guy before. And then when the old man, must have been Eddie Jarrett or whoever the hell the old man came out.
Eddie Marlin, the supposed Eddie Marlin.
The problem was the dude was horrible. So, I was like, who's the fucking bad guy here? Because he's like, you told me to go steal a hubcap, and he did. I'm like, what? And he goes, you want some watermelon? So I brought it for you. And I'm like, okay, this is weird now, right? So I'm like, there's no way Lawler said these things. But then Lawler says later on, you only come in here if you had a get, and you probably do, whatever. So I'm like, okay, so it's definitely Lawler doing the stereotyping or whatever. But the guy was so bad, all I kept thinking is, when I tell a professor that today, I was 8 years old when I saw the Snowman for the first time, his nickname forevermore will be the guy that made Ahmed Johnson look good. Because I thought of two things. Ahmed Johnson, because he was kind of that type of character, and Rick Martel in that promo we always make fun of, because I'm like, this is worse than both. It is so bad that I think Eddie Marlin came out to just wrap it up. He was like, okay, let's take it home, because he was just horrible. And then he just stayed and just kept mumbling and rambling. You're just like, I honestly didn't know who the bad guy was. And then apparently,
hold your thought. I will try to answer that question.
Oh, I know who the bad guy was. It was Lawler.
No. Well, you have to remember this, TW, because Lawler sometimes starts good and then infuses it and then kind of drifts into being the heel. at first, before the Snowman even came into fruition in 1990, he was the good guy. He was fighting, the managers, Ronnie P. Gossett's boys and all that stuff. He was fighting like Bill Dundee, but he was quote unquote the tweener good. When Snowman came and aired out the grievances of the hiring practices of the USWA and all that stuff and Black Power and all the culture, Lawler tried to infuse he was trying to put those stereotypical jabs, but he was also trying to say you Snowman are lazy, you are dumb, you are you're all this. He was trying to focus on him, but then what Snowman, I don't know if he tried, I don't know, like I said, it's a miscalculation, but also this was a perfect calculation on Jerry Lawler's part. He knew the emotions of the African American crowd would get behind the Snowman, and you are right. Snowman is piss poor in the ring. Reflection Nights. Snowman is piss poor on the mic. He can't talk for shit. He makes Ahmed Johnson speak like MJF. That's how bad he is. But Snowman had the African American crowd behind him because they kept saying, "Get the buck, get the buck." And because of the Snowman, there was a shift in attendance with the black audience in that arena. Now, I could say this. I'll say this, TW. And of course, we know this in wrestling. Plants. Of course, Snowman probably had 2, 3, or 4 of his boys starting out in the crowd for himself.
Right.
But when you see this on Memphis television, and of course, at that time, Memphis wrestling on Saturday mornings or Saturday nights, I forget where it was a top 10 rated show for the Memphis territory. So you see Snowman there. You got the culture, you got the African, you got Wakanda forever, you got people wanting to come down to the studio. So eventually it was organic that Snowman would gain popularity on that. So Jerry Lawler might have had to pivot to be a little bit more, I don't want to say racist, but more stereotypical, more
blatantly the heel.
Right. He had to blatantly become the heel out of necessity. That's the way so go ahead.
And the true test would be the show at the Omni. This is why I thought you picked it, because the show they were building up to on Monday night was called Night of Champions, and I'm like, oh, he's doing it because it's Night of Champions, but because that was the last pay-per-view, wasn't it?
Yes.
So literally, there's a commercial that says, if you want tickets to the studio, send a self-addressed stamped envelope. They'll throw them in there and send them to you, so you got tickets. So if these people are coming for free, I think if Lawler did at some point become the blatant heel, it's because they were drawn. The black people actually coming to the Omni, whatever the hell they called the Omni down there. I think they call it the Spectrum.
No, it was the Coliseum.
So people must have been coming, and they saw the difference, and they're like, oh shit, this guy's going to be the baby face. But it's risky to do that. Maybe not so much in 1990, because if you remember in 1990, that's when Fox first started coming around. 88 started getting popular in 90, and you had shit like Al Bundy, you had shit like Tracy Ullman show, Martin, and all that stuff. And all that. And Martin was
in 92, but I get where you're going. Tracy Ullman, The Simpsons.
They pushed the envelope on Fox versus the other shows. So I think that, but and maybe they thought they were harmless stereotypes. But by the way, my favorite stereotype joke ever is the black guy going, I don't get it, man. Why is saying we like fried chicken and watermelon insult? He goes, I like fried chicken. I like watermelon. What's the problem? And I was like, I'm like, everybody says shit, but it's intention. If someone's saying it to you in a shitty way, it's because they're trying to be an asshole. It really doesn't matter what they say. They're an asshole. So maybe he thought it was harmless stereotypes. But I found out, I think Lawler and maybe Kerry, Lawler and someone else trained him. That's who trained him. So he probably
Snowman was trained by Jerry the King Lawler.
So
in
he
the early 80s,
close enough of friendship to say, hey man, let's do this and don't hold back. Let it go. Because Snowman shit almost sounded like a shoot. The stuff he was saying. Because the thing that confused me was Jerry Lawler versus him in that one match. First of all, like a fucking box. It was so weird, like the Montreal screw job in the end. But the special guest referee was Kerry Von Erich, who was supposed to be Snowman's friend. And then when he lost, and you can see Kerry didn't want to count it, he said, oh, Kerry, turn to me. So then he said when Leon Spinks was going to be the referee for Monday night, you see his skin? He's got that year-round tan. He ain't got to go to that. Do you think he's going to be pulling for you guys? You think he'd be pulling for me? Which is implying that Kerry screwed him over, right? So you're just kind of like, what the fuck? Like, how the hell is he going to be from being your best friend to the guy that screwed you over when you didn't even want to count to 3 and he had no choice? But it was ugly, man. Ugly.
Again, well, you know what? Since you talked about it, let's talk about the match they had at the Mid-South Coliseum Reflection Nights with Kerry Von Erich as the special guest referee, and Jerry Lawler had Ronnie Pete Gossett as a cornerman. He had Downtown Bruno or Harvey Wilperman as a cornerman. He had an entourage, so he definitely wanted to be the heel in this match. And Snowman had to overcome so much white adversity. TW, that's one thing I'll say, but the match was horrible. Because the Snowman, I don't know, did he lose all his thought process of training? Did he lose all the fundamentals? Or was he told by Jerry Lawler? Because again, we have to remember this reflection. I said, and I have to go a little bit back, TW, and you'll know where I'm going with this. You know, Jared the King Lawler and Andy Kaufman really plotted to do what they did on Mid-South television. Really plotted to do what they did to create a buzz on David Letterman. But they worked as a cohesive unit. But it looked beautiful. Even that Andy Kaufman could not wrestle for a lick of shit. He knew how to take a bump. He knew how to be the quintessential heel. He knew how to do all the things that a heel does. But what in God's name, TW did Lawler and Snowman, talk together? Because again, like you said, did they blur the lines too much, or was it so scripted that it looked so fake and phony? Because Snowman just looked like, okay, this is supposed to look real. So I ain't gonna do a headlock. I'm not gonna do an arm drag. I'm not gonna do takedowns and arm bars and leg crosses. He just said, I'm gonna punch the shit out of you and see where it goes. And Jared Lawler fought the same way. He fought defensively. He fought like they went off the script so much. So what say you, TW, about that? Because is that what the plan was all along, to look like that?
It just was a mess, man. It was, it's like there's a couple guys on the show that I never heard of before. And then I looked them up, both of them, because I'm like, why have I never heard of these guys? Well, the more they showed him, the worse he got. And it was just, but I just think he picked the wrong guy. There had to be someone better there to pick. But again, everyone's looking for the next Hogan. They're looking for the next Cena. They're looking for the next Warrior. This dude had a look, man. So much so that first match, when someone the guy went running to the back after he lost, because the guy beat him up after he won. When he went by, I saw him in the audience, and I went, damn, that's a big motherfucker. Like who's that? And then the next segment, when they came back, they go, he's here in studio in the audience. And they said his name, and he was there. So he had the it factor of the look. He just couldn't deliver. It's my favorite wrestling thing I've ever heard. Irish Bobby Clancy. This guy comes to the ring, and he looks fucking awesome. It's BCW show. He comes out, and I go to Bobby. I go, who the hell's this guy? He's like, just watch. And then he gets in the ring. He goes, that guy looks like $1 million. And then the bell rings. And the guy was god-awful. And that's what this guy is. And they gave him too much too soon. Right?
It's funny you say he looks like $1 million, which I agree, 100%. But like you said, he looks like $1 million, but wait till the bell rings. Well, he looks like $1 million, Reflection Nights, but the Snowman speaks. And then it went down to like 500,000. Then he looks like 500,000, but then he gets in the ring.
Bankrupt.
He's bankrupt. There you go. It's crypto. It's bankrupt.
It's so
it's
bad.
Inflation.
Man.
It is so bad.
And maybe they added so many people to try to cover it, thinking they'd have him, someone could be there to lead him in every angle, and he just wasn't leadable.
I'll say this, TW. Maybe you want to agree, disagree. Again, I'm going to try to go from the Booker standpoint, because Jerry Lawler, I don't want to, again, when people always go with their emotions, TW, I don't want to say this. I'm not saying that Jerry Lawler is racist. No way. But Jerry Lawler went into the stereotypical formula for a degree. You could look at it in 1990 purposes, TW, that there was a plethora. I'm not. Well, that word is wrong. Plethora means there's so much. There was enough black wrestlers he could have cherry picked to do this angle. Junkyard Dog comes to mind. He was still alive. Butch Reed was still alive, and of course, the funny thing is he did angles with them later on in '92 and '93 and all that stuff. So, but with this particular purposeful segment, I guess he understood that Junkyard Dog couldn't talk about racism because it didn't fit his character. Butch Reed could have. Right. Butch Reed could have went with the racism thing. You talked about Reggie B5. You talk about Brickhouse Braun. They could have did the racism angle. Iceman King Parsons could have done the racism angle. And Iceman can talk. He could talk.
And wrestle.
And wrestle. Sounds like $1 million. So what's the ETW? Was it maybe the economics? Maybe Snowman came on the cheap and you couldn't afford to pay these other black wrestlers with names. What's the
close?
Okay.
It's right up there with the promoter putting the belt on his kid. He can control Snowman because Snowman ain't shit. So Snowman tries strong on him for more money or no showing him, whatever. Oh well, all you got to do is go on TV and say, he ran home scared like the little bitch he is, right? And then start a promo that night with someone new. You can't excuse Butch Reed or JYD not being there.
It's funny you say the strong arm thing. Snowman tried the strong arm USWA because there's a story months later. He's the champion. He pawned the belt. He pawned the USWA belt to a crack house to get drugs. That's the way. And they had to make another belt.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not kidding.
And he made it to 75?
I guess so. I don't know. Well, of course, that was the story that Eddie Marlin and Jerry Lawler said on TV of what Snowman did. So again, maybe he pawned the belt to a pawn shop to trade it for a couple of thousand, which is fine.
Or just kept it.
Or just kept it. Who knows? But there's a story about that. But what you just said was funny because he thought maybe because he was having this hot angle, again, you got to say it was a hot angle for the time in the summer of 1990. He wanted a strong on USWA for more money, more television time, and more dates, or maybe more percentage of the house. Who knows? He wasn't going to get that from Jerry Lawler. He wasn't going to get that from Jerry.
Right. Whereas Butch Reed or JYD would have.
Right. And they were more deserving of that because Snowman was the ultimate journeyman. So again, Reflectionites, this is basically the whole episode. We're going to try to talk about, of course, we're going to talk about the little things that we saw here and there because there were some names that, caught the professor's eyes. There were certain names that probably caught TW's eyes. But again, let's put a bow on the Snowman Jerry Lawler thing. Knowing what I told you, TW, about, the end result was, it flopped because I don't know if it flopped because it didn't sell out in the Mid-South Coliseum. I can't give you the numbers on that. But it flopped because the end result was Snowman left the territory with the belt and pawned it off to a crack house. So did they get what they wanted out of this, or was it a wasted venture? What's the ETW?
I'd say they got lucky because on one hand, I never heard of this shit until you made me watch this, right? Mm-hmm. So they got nothing. But if this would have gotten over, they would have got a bad rep. 1990 is not the same as now. Mm-hmm. I think you could do that now and get some heat, but you'd get some negative publicity, and we all know no such thing as bad press, right? As long as you don't do anything, something like, whoa. I mean, this day, and this is a testament to our, like the shit going on with Lacey Evans right now. It's comical to me, the things that people get mad about. And it's like, imagine doing this angle today. People would be out in front of the studio, but that's a good thing, right? Like, you're putting eyes on the product, and you're going to stop doing it. And as long as in the end the asshole loses, that's your out.
I might have to disagree with you. Like, for today's purposes, people are boycotting Bud Light because a transgender person was supposedly endorsing it. So people say, "Oh, we're winning that war." So if you do this, people are going to boycott certain things right now. Right. We can't like
wrestling's another animal, dude. You couldn't do this on fucking baseball. You couldn't do it. Wrestling is a different animal because it's no different. Dude, how many shows are there on FX that drop the N-bomb? There's tons of them still. Like new shit comes out and they do it. And it's because I think we've talked about this before. Cable TV doesn't have to answer to the FCC. The only reason there's not nudity and cussing on cable is because of advertising. But FX has become that gritty station that they just advertise condoms and whiskey, right? They don't care.
They got cable has limited filters. I get you what you're going with.
Right, but they can air it. They're not going to get fined for F-bomb. They're not going to get. They'll have to change the rating, you know. But like I think even The Walking Dead's rating M because of all the death and the macabre stuff. But dude, shows today drop the N-bomb. But what happens at the end of that episode, or if it's just like Sons of Anarchy, where it's they're all calling each other the slur, like whatever the white slur is, they're getting called that cracker. You know, the Mexicans are getting called whatever they get called. The black, it all goes around. Or the person doing it gets his comeuppance, and that's your out. Your out is as long as, in this case, Lawler loses, and he did, and that guy became champion. All you can say, hey, man, I made him the hero. 20 years ago, he would have been the villain. Now he's the hero. This is progressive. And then people go, oh, you're right. And then they put their picket down and go back to Cheeto Dick.
Well, you know what, TW? Since we talk about Jerry the King Lawler, he had a very busy, let's say, episodic episode here, because not only did he have his war of words with Eddie Marlin, not only did he have his war of words with the Snowman, Eddie Crawford, but of course he had a match to prove how dominant he is as the USWA Unified Heavyweight Champion. But the dude in the ring, he went up against, you know, TW, like you said, like Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan don't wrestle every week on a Saturday because it would be more of a, it's more of a privilege for you to see them as the top guys. Jerry Lawler is an anomaly because he was there every week. He was there in the studio every week. He's talking. Did he wrestle every week? No. I get you. I get there, TW. But he did a lot of physical things almost every week. I would say out of 4 weeks, he was physical half the time, half that month. So with this being said, this is just another thing to escalate his war with Snowman. But the guy that he was in the ring with, he looked like Travis Bolts. That's why I just wanted to. He looked like Travis Bolts. I'm sorry, Pastor Bolts. You called yourself Rex King in 1990. That is you. I'm sorry.
You know who that is, right?
Who is that?
Timothy Well.
Timothy Well, but they called him Rex King, I think.
It's Rex King and Steve Dowell down there, and when they went to WWE, they were Timothy Well and Stephen Dunn. Well done.
Oh, he's
the dark-haired one. Yeah, he's the dark-haired guy.
Oh, okay.
And it's so funny because someone just brought up Sonny to me the other day because I guess, was it Candido and Sonny were the dark side of the ring?
Yeah.
It was those guys that she'd give me the old honka while Candido was in the shower. She'd be blowing those two dudes.
In the WWE?
In the locker room. No, in Smoky Mountain.
Oh God.
I didn't know that?
Not in Smoky Mountain.
Timothy Well.
Ooh. No, I'll take your word for it.
No.
I'll take your word for it. I'm just saying, I thought started in WWE and then progressed in ECW.
Oh, no. So what's that word you young people use? Cuckolds or whatever?
Yes.
That was your boy Candido. He's a cuckold, except he just didn't know it. She did it when he was sleeping or in the shower.
You know what? Again, rest in peace to Chris Candido. But you know what? Whatever Tammy Lynn Sitch's Punani power she had over him, God bless her because it worked. So neither here nor there. But I guess Timothy Well or Rex King here, TW, he got his chance to shine against the heavyweight champion, but it was soured by the Snowman coming into the ring. And of course, it's the studio brawl. So what say you about Snowman and Jerry Lawler? Because that little studio brawl session is actually what happened in the Coliseum. So nothing changed there. So the problem I have here, maybe my little nitpicking here is if the Snowman and Lawler are going to do the same thing at the studio, what they did at the Coliseum, what should make me pay $20 to sit front row to see the same shit over and over when I can get it for free at the studio?
Because this is the pull apart, and then you're actually going to go see them in the actual match. This is time-old tradition, man.
I know, but they're doing the same thing.
Well, that's because that's that.
I know you're.
I know,
but TW, I know that they added ambiance with Kerry Von Erich as a special guest referee, and
so
I know that
before he was the Texas Tornado, huh?
Yeah, this is 2 months before he jumped to the WWE.
I see why he went now.
Why?
dude, them crowds are shit.
Again, you go where you go. You go where you booked. What can you do?
And that was Memphis and Memphis was the AWA, Memphis and USWA all mixed together, right? That was it. That was then Global started running in Texas, and they didn't last long.
Mm-hmm. Give or take like that. But neither here nor there, Reflection. I just want to give that little nitpick again because the Snowman just did the same thing he did in the Coliseum. Again, when you add the ambiance of Kerry Von Erich as a special guest referee, and you add TW, the ambiance of former World Boxing Heavyweight Champion Leon Spinks, again, but again, that's gonna make me pay $20 for Snowman to do the same shit that he did with Jerry the King Lawler. Unless Leon Spinks is gonna knock out Jerry the King Lawler, then I'm not interested in paying $20. That's just my little nitpicking.
I'm gonna ask you this because he the way he did it, he either did it because he was shooting, or I would think if this was all done well, and again, I've already said I don't think it was. Mm-hmm. I would think the way they portrayed it, Leon Spinks is the one that turned on him. He didn't turn on Lawler. He turned on Snowman because this would have been the night that he would win the title from Jerry Lawler. So with Leon Spinks, he helped him. Then he gave it away. That's one more reason why he sucks.
I guess so.
Because Lawler Kerry's supposed to be his buddy, and he lost. Now he got Spinks, who he thinks this is my buddy's. He's brown, right? Mm-hmm. Which in the WWE these days would mean the brown guy's turning on the brown guy because you go with the least obvious path of resistance, right? Like everyone assumes Cody's beating Roman, and then he doesn't, which is the way of the week. That's always how it's been, right? Lex, ever since Lex, fucking Cody got Lex. So I would have thought Leon Spinks, because Leon Spinks is his reputation was a bad boy, a loose cannon. He wasn't known. Michael Spinks was the guy who was the scholar, right? And Leon Spinks wasn't Leon's. One of those two laid down to Tyson, just said, "Fuck this," one punch, and then he went down and lost.
That was Michael.
Michael.
Yeah,
Spinks,
that was Michael.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Leon Spinks beat Muhammad Ali.
Right, but Leon Spinks, I think, is the one that had drug problems. He had legal problems. So him being the loose cannon, that's what I thought they were building towards. And Leon would have cost him the match when he would have thought that was going to be his saving grace, right? So, but I'm glad it wasn't JYD. And part of me is glad it wasn't Iceman, because it's always Iceman. I liked Iceman as a babyface way better than nagging bad guy, right? When he was with Eddie Gilbert, I think he was in Hot Stuff for a minute. He turned on Savannah Jack, I think, and he teamed with Eddie a couple times in UWF. That's the Iceman I like, when he was just like a heel. But he did even do the race stuff then, because he called basically Savannah Jack, he would call him the House N-Bomb, where, shit like that. So,
Uncle Tom Reflection. We'll be nice here.
So I'll tell you what. Now that I said this out loud, because we've had this conversation before about the 80s in wrestling. If those guys, if every time they showed up and then the promoters are the ones making them say that shit would get old. I think I'd be like, look, motherfucker, can I just go out there and be a wrestler? I don't want to go out there and call another black guy this. I don't want to call a white guy that. I just want to go out there and wrestle. So at some point you'd get sick and tired of it. But there were guys like JYD. That's all they did. They went out and wrestled. So you got to think some of it was somebody's gimmick.
I have to give you kudos, because I think you're right, because I think Snowman was on the cheap to do the watermelon. Snowman was on the cheap to do the chicken and say that, I'm going to steal the hubcaps and all that stuff. So, I think JYD built a rep to like, I'm not doing this. I can blur that line of racism, but I ain't gonna do the watermelon gimmick. I think he can be your victim, but he's not going to be your vocalist for it. People just see what's happening to him. He don't need you to tell them. Right. So, I think the clout of JYD, the clout of Iceman King Parsons, Butch Reed, and Reggie B. Fine and Brickhouse Brown, like, no, we ain't doing that, Jerry.
We're past that shit.
We're past that. We're on another level, right? To not do this racism. Snowman was never on that level. And again, Jerry Lawler was trying as he might. He made him the U.S. In the record books, he is a unified heavyweight champion, TW, whether we like it or not.
No wonder Kerry left. He's like, "You're putting the belt on this motherfucker. I'm out."
Oh God. Oh, I don't know. Oh God. You caught me off guard with that one. But anyway, like I said, Reflection Nights, Jerry the King Lawler had a busy night here, TW, because again, he had issues not only with Snowman, but also he had issues with Eddie Marlin. And there was something going on within this episode, TW. There was the Kings of Jonesboro, Tennessee contest. And Jerry the King Lawler had to make it a point to Eddie Marlin. He had to make it a point to the Memphis studio audience that there's only one king in Tennessee. And you cannot use that, term that because it is copyrighted, it's trademarked. Jerry the King Lawler has the best lawyer in Memphis. So if you was wondering, TW, if Jerry the King Lawler was tweening to be good or bad, this was full-fledged heeldom here at its finest. What say you, TW, about Jerry the King Lawler using something simplistic as this, no mean nothing contest that probably didn't even exist in real life. It was just storyline, kayfabe purposes. And Jerry the King Lawler had to use that to, expound on his heeldom.
To get heat.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say there was some shit when they did the first King of the Ring. They had to get permission from Jerry Lawler.
They used that angle for him and Bret Hart, so this way he could infuse.
Yeah, was that the very first one? Was the first one Bret Hart? No, the first one was Harley Race and Junkyard Dog.
No. Well, the first King of the Ring was it was called the Wrestling Classic. It wasn't called the King of the Ring.
Right. Yeah.
So it got trademarked King of the Ring in '93 because it was the first pay-per-view of that tournament.
Right. But I want to say they had to get permission from Lawler because he owned the copyright on King in wrestling.
Mm-hmm. But
so I think that's him protecting his gimmick and letting people know in a kayfabe way, like, listen, motherfucker, don't you get no ideas, Vince? Jim Crockett, this is my shit. Don't be trying to do no King, Rocky King.
Well, Rocky King, you can't, if someone's name is King, you can't, you can't stop them. You can't put a cease and desist on the name Rocky King. But neither here nor there. But I thought it was kind of a funny segment here because again, Reflection Nights, they had this was a long ass segment, Reflection Nights, for a fucking show just to talk about this no mean nothing tournament or whatever. But again, I'll say this: I'm not gonna say it was a fake event, TW, because again, Jerry the King Lawler did a lot of things locally in the Memphis area to expound on his gimmick. He did charity events, he did softball tournaments. So I would say I will retract that.
It wasn't a fake event. It was the last show ever at the Jonesboro College.
Yeah. I'm just saying I'm retracting what I was saying because I was trying to be jokingly for the Reflection Nights. But Jerry the King Lawler did a lot of charity work and did a lot of events for the Memphis area. That's why, it's Elvis Presley number one and Jerry the King Lawler number two in terms of Memphis lore, you could say. And maybe like John Morant number three, but as long as he has the Gaddis. Yeah, well, he's the gun-toting John Morant for the Memphis Grizzlies, but he's number three right now.
That's the current situation.
Yeah, that's the current situation. Right. But again, I'm just saying that the Mount Rushmores of Memphis lore is Elvis, Jerry the King Lawler, and John Morant right now. But
what about Dolly Parton, man?
Isn't Dolly Parton from Kentucky?
Dude, great. What the fuck? Dollywood is in Memphis.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Kentucky.
Maybe it's Nashville. Let me check the computer database.
Well,
where is Dollywood?
If it's in Nashville,
thought it was Memphis. I thought it's just outside of Memphis.
Well, while TW checks on that, we're going to go on to another segment here because
it's in Pigeon Forge,
Tennessee.
Yeah, but I don't know how far that is from.
No. Once you say Pigeon Forge, it has nothing to do with Memphis. She's not on the Mount Rushmore of Memphis.
Pigeon Forge is supposedly a cool little town. People go there. It's like a very, very big tourist town.
That's probably minutes away from Nashville, not minutes away from Memphis. But anyway, TW, let's get into this episodic episode. There's another thing here. Again, what are they trying to do, TW? They are trying to, pass the torch again with Jeff Jarrett. Again, they're trying to show that he is the man to lead the Memphis in the 90s. But again, of course, you and I have talked about this religiously. We've regurgitated this, that Jerry the King Lawler, I don't know if the fans accepted to pass the torch or Jerry the King Lawler is just too stubborn and couldn't trust nobody but himself to pass the torch. Even though that Jarrett that's the name. That's the legacy of Jerry Jarrett to Jeff Jarrett. So why, we have the Robert Palmer Simply Irresistible music video for Jeff Jarrett, TW. What in your humble opinion, what was the resistance from Jerry Lawler? What was the resistance not to give him the torch and let him lead Memphis in the 90s? Fully.
Dude.
I know it's a trust factor. I know he wants to be. It's an ego thing. I get that.
There you go. Lawler in Memphis is Hogan in New York. It's Flair in Atlanta. It's if you allow them, and he bought the territory, right? Lawler?
Yeah.
If you allow them the power to stay on top, they're staying on top. He never put the belt on his son, did he?
Brian Christopher?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a unified champion.
Yeah, for like 5 minutes before he got called up, right?
But he was one. I don't know how many times.
But I'm saying he didn't carry the company, is my point. Lawler was your
not to a degree.
Lawler's deal with WWE was always, I still get to wrestle in Memphis. It was always, you're going to throw some Memphis shit on WWE. Remember when I think Diesel and Kane went down to Memphis and fought Jerry Lawler? I think The Rock went down there and fought somebody down there, and they would show it on Raw, like, over the weekend, blah, blah, blah. Lawler, and I don't fault him for it, there's a handful of people who you would say are absolute lifers in the wrestling business. Lawler is in that list. Flair is in that list. And
Ricky Morton's in that list.
Ricky Morton is in that list because he didn't save his money. I don't mean it like that. I'll be on that list, dude. What the fuck? So I mean, they're gonna have some clout. Ricky Morton doesn't have clout anymore, right? So Honky Tonk Man doesn't have good. Lawler he owns that city, and if he, in his mind, if you ask him today, I hope he's healing up enough to talk. If you asked him today if he would do it all over again, and if he could go back and give the torch to Jarrett, would he? He'd tell you no, because he's going to tell you the reason he's still relevant today is because he never let go of that torch. Hogan will tell you the same thing. Like I was reading something today about Hogan saying he skipped a generation and then he passed the torch to The Rock. He passed it to Cena. And people are like, the fuck you did? Rock was already over by the time you wrestled him, right? So Hogan never passed the torch. And then I read a quote by Macho Man. If anything good's happened to you in the wrestling business, look around, you'll see Hogan's face. Because he would come up, hey, man, what you got going down there? Like he kept himself in the mix. And again, I don't fault him for it. He never slighted me. The people that should be mad at him are the people he slighted. He's admitted that he held the Warrior back, and his line was always, he wasn't the guy. He's probably the reason Sid fucking took off and said, fuck this guy, and Sid left, because Sid would have been the guy. We all know it. He got cheered when he threw Hogan out of the Royal Rumble. That right there alone should tell you this is the guy to put the wagon on, right? Sid would have ruined it. I'm not saying he wouldn't have, but you should have ran with Sid then. Instead, you turned him heel. And I'm sure Hogan had something to do with it. But Lawler was never going to give away the keys to the kingdom as long as he wanted to be the king. And I don't mean that figuratively. I mean literally. He wanted to be the king of Memphis. Look how many times you can't talk about Lawler without talking about the Jarretts. You can't. But Lawler's still the guy. And I'll say this. Jarrett was not to be denied. He's still wrestling now. And he's on top. So he didn't need the fucking torch.
But he's never been called the king of Memphis, Jarrett.
But do you think he cares?
No, I'm just saying.
He's the king. He's the Rocky king. He don't need Memphis. He got a whole other country.
I'm just saying, like, Lawler got the torch from Jackie Fargo, and eventually you're supposed to give the torch to the next, big thing. And of course, with the connection between. Shut up. You know where I'm going with this. It would have been apropos with the 6 degrees of separation and working with Jerry Jarrett. That would have been, again, it's nepotism, whatever you want to call it.
And then Jarrett could have gave it to fucking Brian Christopher.
Could have been. Could have, would have, should have. Yeah, could have, would have, should have. And then, maybe Memphis wrestling would be, I'm not going to say big, but at least still thriving in today's wrestling, because you could still do Memphis wrestling with this hybrid style, with this spot monkey style and all that stuff. But anyway, neither here nor there. That's our little diatribe here. So you know what? Let's do one more thing here. Again, your favorite tag team here closed the show, TW. The Dirty White Boys. because, you know, TW always wanted to be a dirty white boy, but, he had to be a Los Rudos. So it's tit for tat. But anyway, the dirty white boys took on the Rocksteady crew. Now, there's a problem here, TW, because the Rocksteady crew is a breakdancing group from the Bronx. These two guys were not from the Bronx. I already know that. But it was King Cobra and Ira Reese, and they called themselves the Rocksteady crew. They came out with the breakdancing music.
They were the Black Rock and Roll Express, man.
They were the Black Rock and Roll Express, but they didn't do no dancing or no nothing. So,
shucking and jiving is what you call it.
Yes, they were.
What the hell was the NWO doing on the phone?
They were shucking. No, the NWO was not on this episode of Reflection Nights. But anyway, the Rocksteady crew again, TW again. I guess we have to always blur the lines of what's going on with the stereotypes and prejudice and all that stuff. Again, this might have been a Jerry Lawler kind of like booking. This might have been a Jerry Lawler putting them together and giving them this name. What say you, TW, about this Rocksteady crew tag team?
Now,
did they look naturally fit together? Did they look like they were just together because they're black? What say you, TW?
No, they looked like they probably wanted that. They had matching gear, all that shit. It was. You had to trust me. Let me first match.
No. Let me just say this. Organically, Butch Reed and Ron Simmons coming together for Doom. That felt right. That again, they went to the highways and byways. They had a connection, all that stuff. Again, the Rocksteady crew. They went through the southern highways and byways. I get you there.
I would tell you this from my experience, right? We've already talked about this. There aren't that many black people in wrestling. Like, I wrestled on the indies, and we'd have one or two black guys in our, not because they didn't want to book them. Trust me, in Detroit, come on down. They want more black dudes, right? But there's just not that many trying to wrestle. So guys who do make it, I have so much more respect for them because they're in their chances. There's not that many spots for them, and there's also not that many guys. Like, if you're not good, you're not making it, right? But I will tell you this: 1,000%. When there's a bunch of new guys, it doesn't matter if you're black, doesn't matter if you're Mexican, doesn't matter if you're white. If you're two guys that look like you could be a team, they're putting you together. And default would be race, right? You got four dudes. One's Mexican, one's black, and two are white. Guess who the tag team's going to be? The two white dudes, right? So it doesn't matter. And another example of that would be WCW. We talked about them in a spotlight not too long ago. What was the tag team? Two Cold Scorpio and Marcus Bagwell. Why? Because they were young, came in at the same time. They had nothing for them, and they looked at them and went, these two guys are young. They look good. They can do agile moves. Fuck it. Let's make them a tag team. That's how that shit happens, right? But what I was saying is, these guys have elaborate gear. No one paid for your gear in 1990. I can promise you that.
They made it themselves. I can guarantee
so
that.
At the very least, they were on board with it, is what I'm saying. I thought the one dude was the guy that was supposed to be Snowman's bodyguard. He looked like Arthur Ashe, a little young kid. You know what I'm talking about? He was the smaller one of the tag team.
Okay.
He looked just like the guy. He goes, let me get my bodyguards over here, because he said he was going to fight Eddie Marlin.
You said Arthur Ashe. That's the skinny tennis player, right?
That's what this dude was, and he called him his bodyguard. And I was like, what the fuck?
Well, maybe
your bodyguard the size of your leg?
He's probably like a nation of Islam security, so that they look small. That's what it is.
So when they came out, I thought they were his guys, right? And I was like, how the fuck is he wrestling like New Jack, and these guys are wrestling like Rock and Roll Express? So that confused me. But were they really a breakdancing crew from New York, or was that just their gimmick?
No, the real Rocksteady crew is from New York,
okay,
from the Bronx.
So it's like when WCW had the fucking Guardian Angels running around, Big Boss Man, and they weren't real Guardian Angels. But this is what I'm going to say. If you recall, I defended Brickhouse Brown coming to the ring with the boombox, and he had his O'Sheila hairdo, and I said, that's what dudes looked like in 1985. That was a real representation. 1990, dudes weren't fucking holding boomboxes and breakdancing on the corner. So that is something I would assume was given to them. They didn't aspire to be the two breakdancing Rock and Roll Express guys.
Yeah, that's just what I'm just using that as an example of the perils reflection.
I want to know who the fuck made Coco Beware the Birdman and why it stuck for 35 years. He must really like birds, because they say the best gimmicks are the ones based in reality, like you turned up to 10.
Coco Beware came from Bill Watts territory, Mid-South territory. So
but who called him the Birdman? Because he could fly? Like he did top rope shit?
I think that was the initial thing about him. He could fly and be agile and all that stuff. And then Vince McMahon, the ultimate racist, said, let me put a parrot on you. And then we're going to really...
What's that got to do with race? A parrot? I would make him a pirate, and those are white dudes.
Well,
Pirates
you know
got
what?
parrots.
I wish he had a patch on his ITW. Then he would have been the Birdman pirate. Coco Beware.
A black pirate would be some cool shit.
Well, that would have been 25 years too early because, Jack Sparrow, didn't come out just yet. But anyway.
Pierre Lafitte.
We learned a lot of stuff here, Reflectionites. We learned that Dolly Parton is not part of the Memphis Mount Rushmore.
It's 6.5 hours from Memphis.
There you go. See, I was right. I knew I was right. I was wrong that it was. I thought it was in Kentucky.
3 hours from freaking Nashville. How big is Tennessee? Damn it!
So I'll give her the Nashville accolades, but not Memphis.
3 hours though.
But Memphis still belongs to Elvis Presley, Jerry the King Lawler, and John Morant right now. So I'm still right on that. See, that's why the professor's always right. Yeah. But anyway, let's put a bow on this total episode. TW again. You know how Saturday wrestling is supposed to be. And we talked about this a couple of episodes ago with AEW's Collision. Can anything here in 1990 be done in 2023? And you can give any example you want. I know we can't do the racial thing. Maybe we could do the sexual thing. Maybe we could, test the limits of the FCC. Can it be done for AEW Collision in comparison to what was done in 1990 for this Memphis Studio Wrestling episode?
I would be absolutely stunned if AEW tried doing anything like that. They are the ones who aren't going to do anything that might get them in trouble, at least for 5-10 years, because they're too new. Their ass will get the fucking, what do you call it? What they give Penn State? The death penalty, whatever they called it when they banned them from bowl games for 30 years or whatever.
The ban for life, you can say. Yeah.
So
or blackball.
AEW ain't gonna do it. I promise you. And I'll tell you this: I even go you this far. You'd see it, but it would be a black indie promotion that does it. Like they're the ones who are gonna do it, and dare someone to have a problem with it, because you know what they call indie federations back in the territory days, right?
What?
Outlaw shows. And
outlaw mud shows.
There's still outlaw shows now because you have basically territories again, but there's 80 guys running. Everyone's drawing 30 people and thinking they're a wrestling promoter, when if they were smart, they would get together and, you know what I mean? Like do something together, weed out the dudes that just are using daddy's money to do it. That was not a Tony Khan shot. I mean, there's real dudes doing that.
Yes, there is. That was a Tony Khan shot.
No, because I made it. The Snowman that was on purpose. But at the end of the day, I think someone could do it on an indie level, and they can do it well. Like I said, if you do it right, and the racists in the end,
you know why they could do it right, because again, they're not on television. They could probably do it on the YouTubes. They could do it on the Twitters.
You wouldn't want to do that, because then you get the fucking hate speech and all that. The reason I say indies is because they're spot shows. More than likely, everything happens in one night. You might set up a return match, but everything's happening in one night. So the night could start off with Lawler saying, "Go steal a hubcap." It could end up with them both wrestling singles matches, and each one interferes in the other ones, right? And then they're like, all right, fuck it. Now we wrestle at the end. I just booked the show right there. And then they could wrestle each other in the end. And as long as the racist loses and the victim of it, whatever race, pick one. You could do the black guy healing on a white dude. You could do whatever angle you did, as long as the racist loses in the end, it's done right.
You can't do Taliban. You can't do the Taliban.
Trust me. I told you, someone tried to book me and said, "Hey man, if you ever want to come back, you'd make a mean Middle Eastern guy. You'd get some strong heat over here in Coldwater, Michigan." And I said, "Yeah." I said, A, no thank you. B, I don't want to get shot. So, because that's what would happen. I'd be wrestling in the middle of some nowhere town in frickin' the border of Ohio and Michigan, and some hillbilly would think I really was from the Middle East burning an American flag and
That's the heat that you can draw. That's what makes
heat.
wrestling the way it is.
That's heat I don't want. Thank you very much. I told you about the one in Flint, Michigan. They wanted me to stand there while we burn an American flag on the 4th of July in a garbage can. I go, absolutely not. They're like, why? I go, we're outdoors. I go, a dude in the park with his kid could see us doing that and grab the gun off the back of his truck and shoot us.
Message to bookers. Pay those people a lot of money for them to burn the flags. But anyway, neither here nor there. So with that being said, we close on this episodic episode. I had fun, blurring the lines of reality, blurring the lines of prejudice, blurring the lines of stereotypical stuff, blurring the lines of social justice reform, because we here at the PWR podcast at the Hami Media Group at Podbean.com, we unite the colors together. We unite the trans together. We unite all the biochromes together. But with that, neither here nor there. So what we're going to do next week, Reflection Nights, you know what? It's been a while, TW. I think we got to go back to the movies. We got to get our popcorn. We got to get our soda. We got to get the junior mints. We got to get the candies here. But I'll give you the choice. What wrestler would you want me to find, movie style, that maybe you haven't seen that you just say, let's just do it? Or you just want me to pick out the dome?
Well, I just watched the movie. It had 3 wrestlers in it. Actually, 2.
Who?
The Rock and John Cena.
Oh, you talk about Fast and Furious.
X. That's X.
Yeah. That's a little bit too present.
I know. Well, yeah. Even the first Rock one was probably 2010.
It sounds like you want me to try a Rock movie.
I like the Rock movies, man. Nah, not the Rock. Someone, remember we did the Learning the Ropes? That was fun. Somebody who tried to do it like a fucking Dolph Ziggler movie, man. Or even Kane. Shit. I've never seen a movie with either one in a minute.
Kane? You want to do a Kane movie?
There's one with Kane and Dolph.
See No Evil. We could do See No Evil with Kane. A WWE movie.
Is Rock in that? I mean, Dolph in that?
It's a horror movie with Kane.
Right, but I want to do the one with Dolph and Kane together.
Well, you know what? Reflection Nights. Right now, we might do See No Evil with Kane, but if I can find this movie with Kane and Dolph Ziggler together, then we'll try to do that. Is that all right with you, TW?
Absolutely.
There you go. So with that being said, we close on this episodic episode. So TW, give out those socials so we can get out of y'all.
The PWC Network at Podbean.com is where you can find the Pro Wrestling Coalition Network. Hami Media Group at Podbean.com and also at ChannelAttitude.com for the Hami Media Group. Our Twitter is at PW Reflection. Travis, we mentioned you, so we got to put you in the credits at Nuts and Bolts PW. That's VOELTZ PW. Nuts and Volts, his last name, PW. Of course, Big Ray, can't do any of this without you. At Big Ray Hernandez on any and all social media apps. You will find him. Probably on fanboy boards with that too. My Instagram and heel Tommy Wonder 19, heel Twitter is at Tommy Wonder 19. My good Snapchat, good guy Tommy Wonder, was slowly turning heel, and TikTok are at the Tommy Wonder. That's the with 2 E's for you dummies. Facebook.com/Tommy Wonder. Snapchat is #Wonder, and then of course Big Vito and Noel can be found at bigvitobrand.wixsite.com, patreon.com/the Big Vito Brand, and then also twitch.tv /the Big Vito Brand is where you can watch the early release of the Reflection video.
And I found the movie with Kane and Dolph Ziggler. We are going to do from 2016 Reflection Nights, the movie called Countdown, starring Kane and Dolph Ziggler. So, you're right, TW. That's the movie you want to see. So we're going to do that. Countdown. But anyway, my Twitter handle is PWHustle. That's PWHustle. And this gets uploaded by 8-Track Brown. This will be available on the PWHustle YouTube network. Follow my brothers in arms, the man with the documents, the man that knows what's going on in the back rooms of the Biden McCarthy organizations. George Soros, his #1 fan, Billy Ray Valentine at Obi-Wan, and of course the king of the reactions. He should be back doing what he does best. He's back from a little long extended vacation. He needed a mental break, you could say. But 8-Track Brown will be back with the Walking Dead reactions. Of course, Dead City. Of course, in a couple of weeks, the Star Wars reaction is going to get, underway with Ahsoka Tano's episodes. So you can follow him at his Twitter at the number 8, TRAC Brown. And again, next week, we're going back to the movies Countdown from 2016 starring Dolph Ziggler and Kane. And with that being said, I'm the Professor. That's Mr. Wonderful, Dum Dum Doer, Idiot's Own. Tommy Wonder saying good night, and we'll see you next time here at the PWR podcast at the Hami Media Group at podbean.com.
Sucker!
Fucker or sucker?
Sucker.
Oh, okay. I'm just making.
It went with the episode, man. Hubcaps, sucker. Booker T.
Oh, Lord.